Hello, you beautiful people. So, I think almost all of you saw the 2.7 live stream along with the little teaser that we got on the 3.0 characters, and now you want to know all the info that we have on their release dates, right? Well, lucky for you, you've somehow managed to land on the perfect video to get that info. Today, I'm basically going to talk about all the info that we have right now on the newly revealed characters, and we will also discuss about their release dates as well. Along with this, we're going to talk about some other characters which are going to be revealed later in the future. A little bit of a warning though, the banners starting from patch 3.0 are actually brutal, and I'm already scared for my wallet when we haven't even reached version 2.7 yet. Lastly, there is a slight chance that we might see a lot of XP units from the Flame Chasers group present in Honkai Impact 3rd, but I'm in the mood to torture you guys, and we'll talk about this at the very end of the video. Before we begin, these are the results for the 10 Express Pass giveaway that I hosted in one of my previous videos, and congrats to all the winners. Of course, some of you might have already guessed it, but yes, I'm hosting another 5 Express Pass giveaway in this video as well, just to help you guys a little bit with all these upcoming banners. To enter the giveaway, just leave a comment down in the comment section, and that's pretty much it. Yep, you don't need to be subscribed to the channel or anything like that to enter it either, so don't worry about it. The results will be announced in 2 weeks, and may Gayatara bless you all. Moving on, I know some of you skipped the first part, but don't skip this, because I need to quickly mention the usual disclaimer that everything which I mention in this video is totally based on speculations from different sources, and it can be changed at any point of time, so take all this info with a grain of salt. With that being said, let's begin without wasting any more of your time or energy. Starting with the banners for patch 3.0, we'll see a total of 3 new characters in this patch, and due to the official drip marketing done by Hoyoverse themselves, these 3 units will be the Herta, Aglia, and the Trailblazer's new form, which is the Remembrance Trailblazer. We actually have quite a lot of info on all of these characters along with this new Remembrance path as well, so let's take a look at that next, before moving on to the banners for patch 3.1. If you're not interested in Madame Herta's and Aglia's kit though, you can simply skip to the 3.1 banner through the timestamps that I made. Alright, starting with Madame Herta, she is going to be an Ice-type unit who follows the path of erudition, and she plays the role of a main DPS on your team. I actually like Madame Herta's playstyle quite a lot because her entire kit is pretty much focused around building up stacks for her and then unleashing a huge enhanced skill onto the enemies. From the point that we're at right now, her kit genuinely looks really good meta-wise as well, and you can easily use her in all the 3 game modes, even though she is an erudition unit. She is also going to be our second playable character who is confirmed to be an emanator after Acheron, and just like Acheron, she also has a trace which buffs her damage whenever she has other characters in the team who follows the same path as her. If you want a detailed version of her kit though, you can go and watch the video that I made on Madame Herta like 2 days ago. Anyways, the Herta is one of the most hyped characters in HSR history, and I'm pretty sure that they won't fumble her kit at all. Regarding her release date, if we go by the drip marketing order, she is going to be released in the first half of the patch, and her banner will go live on January 15th for the Asia and Europe servers and January 14th for the America ones. I think I will have some time to save after getting Sunday in 2.7, and hopefully I win the 50-50 for Herta because otherwise, I might need to rely on the good old wallet. Alright, moving on to Aglia. She is going to be a lightning-type unit who follows the path of remembrance, and she will be the first Memosprites-based DPS unit in the entire game. Okay, do you remember the trash can event that we had a while ago around patch 2.4 or 2.5? Yeah, the Memo Sprites function very similarly to how the trash cans functioned in that event. Basically, a Memo Sprite is like an individual character present on the team, and they can also take damage through enemy attacks. A Memo Sprite also have their own unique set of skills, base speed, and other abilities like traces as well. Anyway, do you see these headless mannequins in Aglia's drip marketing? These mannequins are going to behave as Aglia's Memo Sprites when she becomes playable, and they will most likely play a very important role in her kit. Honestly, I really want to pull for Aglia just because this Memosprites-based DPS playstyle sounds really fun, but I think I will probably skip her because I really like the 3.1 and 3.2 characters. Regarding her release date, she is going to be featured in the second half of patch 3.0, and her release date will be around February 5th for all the servers. Lastly, we're going to get the Trailblazer's new path right in version 3.0 this time around, and they will be an Ice-type character who follows the path of remembrance. RMC is pretty much going to play the role of a sub-DPS, and a support hybrid on your team, and the Trailblazers memo sprite looks really cute, so they get extra points for that. I'm not going to talk much about the Trailblazer though, because I know that most people are really excited about the new characters rather than the Trailblazer's new path. With that, we're finally done discussing all the new units that are going to be released in version 3.0. Alright, time to move into the uncharted territory, and let's take a look at the new characters in version 3.1. So, in the usual HSR fashion, patch 3.1 is going to feature a total of 2 new characters, and these characters are going to be Tribby and mydei. I'm actually making this video before the live stream has aired, so hypothetically, if we don't get Tribby's model in the live stream, I'm just going to use Bailu's emote whenever we talk about her because both of them share the same character model. Now, just like we did with the 3.0 characters, let's take a look at the info that we have right now on Tribby and mydei. Alright, starting with Tribby, she is supposedly a quantum type unit who follows the path of harmony, and she plays the role of a support, which is not that surprising considering her harmony path. Recently, a somewhat reliable source mentioned that Tribby will have HP manipulation mechanics in her kit, and she herself is also going to be a support for the HP scaling units. Yeah, I know the Blade mains are rejoicing and crying tears out of happiness right now, and I think Blade definitely deserves it because he has suffered enough without a proper support. Anyways, coming back to Tribby, I have already mentioned that she uses the same model as Bailu, and her being a support for HP units does tell us that the amphoreus arc will most likely introduce other HP scaling characters as well. I will probably have to pull for Tribby just because she is a harmony unit, and as a wise man once said, you can never go wrong by pulling for a harmony unit. Okay, moving on to mydei. He is going to be an imaginary type unit who follows the path of destruction, and he plays the role of a main DPS on your team. Before we discuss his kit, can I just simp a little bit over his design? I know he looks like a customized version of Gilgamesh, but honestly, I don't even care because looking a bit like Gilgamesh gives me enough of a reason to start saving for him after pulling for Madame Herta. Just yesterday, a somewhat questionable source mentioned that mydei will be an HP scaling unit similar to Blade, and his entire kit is totally based around his own HP manipulation. Just like Firefly's normal skill, mydei also consumes his own HP whenever he attacks an enemy, and he also has ways to restore his own HP. This source also mentioned that even though mydei is a destruction unit, he has an ability which lets him attack 5 enemy targets at the same time, and just my pure speculation, but I'm guessing that this ability will be somewhat similar to Blade's follow-up, which lets him attack all the enemies on the field. Anyways, I guess we won't have to wait a long time to get a character who synergizes really well with Tribby. Lastly, mydei is supposedly going to be really synergistic with another DPS unit releasing in version 3.2, so do keep that stuck in the back of your mind, because I'm going to mention it later on. Alright, with that, we're done with the 3.1 characters, and let's not waste any time and move directly to the characters who are going to be featured in version 3.2. Similar to patch 3.0 and 3.1, version 3.2 is also going to feature a total of 2 new characters and another thing. This patch will be the patch in which HSR completes its 2nd anniversary. So, one of these units is going to be Castorice, who was also shown in the livestream, and we don't know the name of the other unit who is going to be featured in the second half of this patch, so let's just call him X for now. Okay, I think you already know the drill by now, so starting with Castorice, she is hypothetically going to be a quantum type unit who follows the path of remembrance, and she plays the role of a main DPS on your team. We don't have any other info related to her kit as of now, but we do know that Castorice and mydei supposedly synergize really well with each other. In my opinion, I honestly really like this idea of having 2 DPS units synergize insanely well with each other, and they might have some abilities which can only be triggered whenever they're both in the same team. I can see why people might dislike this idea though, because not everybody will like both of these characters and pull for both of them. So I do hope a little bit that they're really good individual units on their own, but become an insane duo whenever they're played in the same team. Almost forgot to mention, but I also like how mydei is an imaginary type unit, while Castorice is a quantum type unit, but still synergize well with each other, because if you didn't know, imaginary and quantum are considered as opposites of each other. Anyways, moving on to X, we just know that he is hypothetically going to be an ice type unit who follows the path of nihility, and yeah, we're done with the info that we have on him. I remember though that a while ago, a source mentioned that a nihility unit will be the best in slot support for the Memesprite-based DPS characters, but that info was kind of questionable, so don't take it seriously at all. Alright, we're finally done with all the character banners up until patch 3.2, and with that being done, Now I'm just going to talk about some upcoming playable characters who are most likely going to be playable within the next year, but we don't have any concrete info on their release dates. So, first of all, we're going to see a Kevin Kaslana XP from Honkai Impact 3rd, and I know most of you already know what HI3 is, but for the few people who don't know, HI3 is another game made by Hoyoverse, and an XP unit is basically like an exported character from another game, but changed slightly in the design and personality section to fit the new game. Anyway, coming back to Kevin Kaslana, his XP character will be named Phainon, and he will most likely be released around 3.3, but as I just stated like 30 seconds ago, this info comes into the very questionable territory for now. I know that a lot of you guys are already excited for a Kevin XP, especially the HI3 players, and I have to admit, this guy actually looks really good and I feel like he might play a major role in the story. Okay, next up, this is honestly a pretty big deal for me and again, for the HI3 players as well, because at this point, a lot of sources have mentioned that we will have an Elysia XP releasing sometime around version 3.3 to 3.4. Wait, before you guys get excited, we have literally zero info on her kit or her design as of now, but I have a feeling that you guys don't really need any info to get excited for an Elysia XP, and honestly, I get it. She is insanely gorgeous, and I genuinely don't want the rest of the video to be just me simping for her because that won't look good. So let's move on fast and discuss about the final character of this video. Quickly though, just between us, that if Elysia actually becomes playable in HSR, she is going to be my first E6 character, and I want all of you guys to hold me on that. Deal, yeah? Alright, discussing about the final character for this video, this character is going to be Cypher. She will be the first character of her kind, and I'm saying that because she will be the first playable cat girl in HSR. Okay, I know that some of you guys are already excited for her just because she is a cat girl, and don't worry, I'm not judging at all because I'm most likely going to simp for her as well if her design ends up being really good. Just yesterday, a source did mention that Cypher will be a Nihility type unit, but as I've already stated beforehand, the release date of this character is really far away for now, so consider this info as heavily subject to change. Anyways, with all that, I've finally mentioned all the info that we have right now on the upcoming new character releases, and I really hope you guys liked the video. As I promised at the start with that Flame Chaser tease, I actually wasn't joking, and there is genuinely a chance that a lot of Flame Chaser units become playable in HSR, but I won't go too deep into that topic. Do tell me if you guys liked the 3.0 character teaser and 2.7 livestream, because in my opinion, both of them were really good. Also, I hope you guys don't mind, but I'm just going to ask that if you enjoyed watching the video until the end, do consider dropping a sub to the channel. With that being said, make sure to comment which character you guys are going to pull for in the upcoming patches, and I will see you in another one.